Welcome to our English Learning Podcast. Today I want to talk about overthinking and how to stop it, a problem that a lot of us deal with. Overthinking happens when you focus too much on a problem. You keep thinking about a project at work, and your mind spins endlessly. You search for answers, but solutions don't come. This makes you feel exhausted and stuck. Your brain struggles to move forward. When you overthink, you feel negative effects. You might struggle to sleep, lose focus during tasks, or feel drained of energy. These issues create more worries as you start thinking about why you feel this way. This forms a harmful cycle that can lead to feeling very anxious or sad for a long time. You can break free from overthinking. It's not something you're born with, like eye color. Overthinking is a habit you can change with practice. You develop this habit when trying to solve problems, but you can learn to stop. You can't control every thought that pops up. They come automatically, like worrying about a meeting. But you can control how you respond. You can choose to ignore these thoughts instead of dwelling on them. This keeps your mind calm. Let's explore how to do this. First, know your trigger thoughts and let them go. Some trigger thoughts make you feel happy, like thinking about a fun project, meeting a friend, or a trip you're excited about. These thoughts don't cause problems. Other trigger thoughts can lead to worry or overthinking. Worries often start with what-if questions like, what if I make the wrong choice? What if people don't like me? Overthinking might begin with questions like, why do I feel this way? Or, how can I get better? Imagine your thoughts are like trains at a busy station. Each thought is a train going to a different place. For example, a thought like, what if people don't like me, might come to your mind. If you focus on it, more thoughts come. But if you ignore the thought, like letting the train leave without getting on, you can go back to what you were doing. If you don't give energy to a thought, it stays in the background or goes away. Trigger thoughts themselves don't make you feel bad, and it's normal to have them. The problem happens when you keep focusing on them, thinking about them, or letting them grow into worries or overthinking. This is like adding more cars to a train, making it heavy and slow, so it struggles to move forward. The same happens with your thoughts. The more you think about them, the heavier and more tired you feel. The next step is to postpone and reduce your worries. Many people who overthink a lot find it hard to believe they can control their thoughts. You might not be sure about this either. One way to test this idea is to try postponing your worries. You can set a specific time each day to think about your worries freely. When you feel worried during the day, like thinking about your health or what others think of you, tell yourself, I'll think about this later. This time can also be used for planning or calming yourself if you feel the need. But don't set this time too close to bedtime, like 1 or 2 hours before, especially if you have trouble sleeping. Setting a worry time does a few things. First, it helps you see if you can really control your worries. Most people find they can postpone their worries when they try this. You already do this every day without noticing. For example, if you're at a cafe with a friend and hear something that reminds you of bad memories, but you choose to focus on your friend instead, that's you controlling your thoughts. In the same way, you can learn to ignore worrying thoughts during the day and save them for your worry time. Second, a worry time shows you that thoughts come and go. A thought that feels important in the morning might not seem important when your worry time comes later. You might even forget some thoughts that bothered you earlier. All feelings, good or bad, usually go away if you let them pass without focusing on them. Some thoughts might be about real problems you need to solve, but it's better to think about them during your worry time instead of all day while you're busy with other things. Finally, a worry time helps you spend less time worrying. It's not the thoughts themselves that make you feel bad, or the number of thoughts you have. It's how much time you spend thinking about them that makes you feel heavy. By setting a specific time for worries, you can feel more in control and avoid feeling overwhelmed. Third step, learn to focus. An exercise called attention training to help people see they can change their focus, even with worrying thoughts or outside stress. Here's a 10-minute exercise you can try. Find a place with different sounds, like cars outside, birds singing, people talking, a radio playing, kids laughing, or construction noise. Choose 3 or more sounds. Some should be loud and close, others quiet and far away. Focus on one sound for about 10 seconds. Use a timer if you want. Let the other sounds stay in the background. After 10 seconds, switch to another sound. After 2 minutes, do the exercise again, but switch between sounds faster, focusing on each for 2 to 4 seconds. The goal is to get good at moving your attention. When you feel confident, you can add a recording of a worrying thought to the exercise and practice switching your focus away from it and back to the sounds. Another exercise to try is called the window pane exercise. It shows you can control your attention even with worrying thoughts in your mind. Write 1 or 2 worrying thoughts, like, "What if I fail my test?" or "What if she thinks I'm boring?" on a window with washable ink. Then practice looking through the words to see things outside, like trees, the sky, or buildings. Next, switch your focus back to the words, then back to the view outside. This helps you feel that you can control what you pay attention to. You can choose to look at the thoughts or ignore them and focus on the world outside. The last step is to recognize what you can and can't control. If you often think too much about certain thoughts without stopping to question them and let them turn into worry or overthinking for a long time, you might create a bad habit. If you do this a lot, it can feel like these thoughts come by themselves, and you can't stop them. You might think you have no control over them. It's true that thoughts come to your mind on their own. You can't choose which thoughts show up, just like you can't choose which trains stop at a station. But you can choose if you want to think more about a thought or let it go. You decide whether to focus on it or move on. To see this differently, think of thoughts like a phone ringing. You don't choose when it rings or who calls. You can't turn the phone off, but you can decide if you want to answer it or let it ring while you do something else. The ringing might be loud and bother you, but if you ignore it, it stops. You can't stop thoughts from coming, but you can choose not to think about them. Thoughts usually go away fast, even if they don't feel like it. Think about yesterday. You had thousands of thoughts, but how many do you remember? Probably very few. That's because most thoughts disappear when you don't focus on them. You let them go and keep doing what you were doing. You might not notice, but you already know how to ignore thoughts, like ignoring a phone that keeps ringing. Now, let's bring it all together. Overthinking traps you in a cycle of worry, making you tired and stressed. You can break free. Recognize trigger thoughts and let them pass. Choose what to think about. Postpone worries to a set time. Train your attention to stay in control. These steps calm your mind and help you live better. You feel happier when you think less. You gain confidence and strength. I believe you can do this. Your mind is ready to change. With practice, you can reduce overthinking, sleep better, and focus more. This makes life more enjoyable and fulfilling. Thank you for joining me in this episode. I hope you feel ready to stop overthinking and improve your English. This episode supports your listening and speaking skills. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. It helps us a lot. Subscribe to our channel for more episodes to practice your English. Share this with a friend who might need it. Keep practicing and learning. I'm excited to share more with you next time. Goodbye for now.